Nike's been very, very, very good to us. I've been doing these clinics for a long, long time, and the two, 8 years at West Virginia, my second year at Houston. So for the 10th year, I've been doing 2 of these Nike clinics a year, and they're a pretty awesome group. They do a great job of taking care of us as coaches, and so wherever they want to send us, we're going to go and we're going to have a good time with it. So when I do this, there's a lot of. This is going to be a kind of an interesting one to me putting together. So this kind of goes throughout the course of our career. I talk ball, okay? So I'm not one of these head coaches that get in front of you and give you, motivational stuff to help you with kids and stuff. I'm a ball coach, okay? And it's always been like that. I grew up in Iowa, okay? Right, Shrine Bowl 30 years ago, that was my coach right there. He was my receiver coach back 30 years ago. I hadn't seen him in 30 years either. I just small college kid that liked football. I had no idea what I wanted to do when I was growing up, and out of high school, I ran into these 2 guys by the name of Hal Mummy and Mike Leach that came to Iowa Wesleyan College back 30 years ago. And so I was like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do, so I kind of like what those guys do, so I'm going to do that, right? So started up, I played for those guys, and they moved to Valdosta State. I was at Valdosta State for 3 years. I was at Mississippi College for 3 years, Division III. I was at Wingate College, and small college in North Carolina for 1 year, and then Mike Leach gets the Texas Tech job in late 1999, okay, December of 1999. And that's kind of when this stuff all started, okay? So, he got the job. He's, one of my mentors, and, probably the smartest dumb guy I've ever met in my life. If anybody knows him, the dude just rattles about everything from nonstop forever and ever and ever. I don't have to read any of his books because I lived it, all right? But anyway, he gets the job back 1999 for the 2000 season. I'm like, this is it. He's going to hire me. I'm going to move to Lubbock, and it's going to be awesome. Year one, or day one, after he got the job, no phone call. Day 2, no phone call. I was like, this ain't good. Day 3, he called at like 1 o'clock in the morning. He goes, can you be here for a 9 o'clock staff meeting? I go, Mike, I live in North Carolina. You're in Lubbock, Texas. How am I going to be there in 9 hours? He's like, well, I don't know, if you want a job, you're going to have to figure it out, And so anyway, I was en route. I called him at 9 o'clock. I'm like, look, I'm halfway there. I can't turn back now. So anyway, he hired me out there. I was there 8 years in Lubbock, which is where this kind of starts getting started right here, okay? And I want to talk about the evolution of the RPOs, which is really pretty interesting. When you get right down to it, it's pretty interesting, okay? So we're air raid offense. So we're throwing the ball about, 70-80% of the time. And, I'm his eyes in the sky. So I'm up top, and he's like, well, what do we need to call? I'm like, well, Mike, you might want to call a run play. I mean, we hadn't ran the ball in like 2.5 quarters, He doesn't like to run the ball. So we started introducing the RPOs. And so this is where he's like, all right, okay, so we can like hand the ball off and like throw it on the perimeter, which is basically a run play, and get passing yards. So he's all over it, right? So that really, Steve Spurrier at South Carolina started doing this back in like 2002. And so Steve Spurrier Jr., okay, came to Lubbock, Texas, and was just kind of out there just hanging out, wanting to watch the passing game stuff. And he's like, you can run these, you can hand the ball off, or you can kind of look out there and just throw it on the perimeter. And I was like, that's fascinating. Maybe that'd get Mike, to actually call run plays. And so in 2002, we started doing the first RPOs, which was simply either hand the ball off or throw it on the perimeter. And I don't have any Texas Tech cut-ups, but 8 years at Texas Tech, and then, I left Mike in Texas Tech in 2008 and went to the University of Houston. I was offensive coordinator at Texas Tech, and I left to go be the offensive coordinator at Houston. So back then it was like, why is he doing that? Well, I wanted to call plays, so I was betting on myself to be able to go out there and, be able to call the plays, even though I was like very comfortable with my role at Texas Tech. but I went there for 2 years. Then I went to Oklahoma State for a year, and you'll see the transformation of every job and every RPO that we were starting to do more and more. And so then Oklahoma State in 2010, won a lot of games, had a lot of success. Coach Gundy was very instrumental in my development as an offensive coordinator and being able to be a head coach, okay? And so then went to West Virginia, was head coach for 8 years, and then did that unthinkable thing again by leaving a head coach in the Big 12, going to be the head coach at Houston. I mean, who would do that, right? Well, there's a reason why we do that, okay? So, got great support at the University of Houston. I know we weren't worth the crap last year, and we didn't win very many games, but we will, over the course of time. I'm very comfortable with where we're at. So why do you do RPOs? Okay, so, it's really, there was a time at West Virginia back in, I think it was 2014, 2015, and you see some of these cut-ups right here, that we were so bad on the offensive line from a pass protection standpoint. I said, I'm never going to call another pass play ever again. Okay, we're just going to call a run play and we're going to throw it every time. It's easier to pass protect on a run play than it is on a pass play. Now, that's kind of true, and obviously in order to be really good and win a lot of games and have a lot of success, obviously you got to be able to protect. But if you're not very good up front, it gives you an opportunity to be able to dictate what you're doing based on the run play, and then being able to throw it based on what they're doing. So it's all about numbers, So, and then there's that 3-yard rule. Okay, so if the O-line are 3 or more yards downfield and you throw the ball, it's a flag, right? Well, if there's that much air in the box, then why would the quarterback not hand the ball off? I mean, if you're looking at the box and there's air there, well, hand the thing off. If you're looking at the box and there's bodies everywhere, then your O-line should not be able to get down 3 yards downfield, right? So it's all about the numbers. It's all about the dang numbers. So, all right, here we go. Give you some clips here. Obviously a 10 personnel deal. Okay, so you want a lot of 10 personnel, whether it's 2x2, 3x1. We'll get into that. But right here, there's both air in the box and there's leverage on the corners. Okay, so really you can't go wrong with either one of them. Hand it off or throw it out there based on what the previous play's success was. Okay, here's West Virginia back, this is 2011. Okay, so again, we did it at Tech, we did it at Houston, we did it at West Virginia. Okay, so this is out of the pistol. It's just got it, when it's 10 personnel and you have that unsecure edge, that thing's got to come out quick. So right here, it's 10 personnel, it's an unsecured edge. Okay, right there, we got some issues here. So the thing's got to be quick. It's got to be quick with your feet. It's got to be quick with the hands. Now, as far as accuracy counts. And we coach this hard. If that receiver out there, and I don't like bubble screens very much because everybody runs a bubble screen a little bit differently. You need a stationary target, and the quarterback has got to put that thing right here. If the quarterback puts it here, and he's here, and then he goes this way, it takes too much time, and he's going to get tackled. One step up, one step back, ball right there on the upfield shoulder, and then go. And that's the difference in probably 5 yards and 10 yards, okay? So right here, unsecure edge, boom, get it out there. It's a very accurate ball, one up, one back. Okay, the blocking aspect of it is important. You got to work it every day, okay? We didn't do a very good job of it last year. It's going to be one of our biggest emphasis that we have in spring is that perimeter blocking. Okay, it's about getting flat, it's about dropping your hips, it's about staying square, it's about blocking with leverage. Okay, stack, really like that. This was, so this was 2016, shorter quarterback, okay, was a really good player, but his pocket presence was bad, okay, so if you got one of those quarterbacks where he's a good player, he's pretty savvy, but he can't just sit in that pocket and see things. Like everybody understands what I'm saying. The stack right here was the sole reason why we won 10 games in 2016. Because I could stack those guys wide and the quarterback could see it. And he was pretty good when it comes to quarterback run game, the deep ball, and screens. And that was pretty much it. So we changed our air raid offense to pretty much ground and pound with a shorter quarterback, but we widened things out to where he could see. All right. Okay, now, unsecure edges. Okay, 3x1. Okay, so most of the time, and again, I've already said I don't like the bubble screens. I mean, we back out, and just, I don't hate this so much and just kind of back out right there to put the thing here because it's a stationary target. I do not like this because everybody runs it different. So we'll do it, that's the target guy. Okay, that's the target guy. LSU, this is 2011, okay? They're pretty good, okay? Not quite as good as they were this year, but they're pretty good. This was at West Virginia. This was game day, Saturday night, ABC, pretty good. All right, guy by the name of Honey Badger, right? So I'm like, look at the score. We're down 20-7. There's 40 seconds and it's 3rd and 19. So why wouldn't the head coach just say, look, take a knee. Let's get out of here. Well, so I called the safest play I could do. Just zone screen, just hand the ball off, let the clock run, okay, and then punt it. Okay, or hopefully it just runs out and we're good. Unsecure edge, Honey Badger. Unbelievable. Now, unbelievable, right? So, unbelievable. So, now, I do want to point out this, Tavon Austin, okay, so I had one too. I mean, those two dudes right there are like best friends, but Tavon's, he's a dude, and then obviously Honey Badger, he's a dude. That's a hustle play right there. So he got him down on the 2 with 40 seconds left. They ran 2 plays and we held them to a field goal, right? So that's a heck of an effort play, and that's awesome by Tavon Austin. Now, the whole Honey Badger thing. So he's at the Texans, all right, and the Texans would go practice up in West Virginia at the Greenbrier. So I went down and watched the Texans practice like for three straight years. The Saints were there for a couple years, and the Texans were there for 2 years. And I'd go up to Honey Badger, and he'd go, West Virginia is the greatest atmosphere I've ever been in. I go, even like Alabama and Auburn and LSU and all that stuff, he's like, it was the best one I've ever seen. I was like, well, you're the best defensive player I've ever seen. That's the truth. And so, national championship, this is pretty cool. I went to the national championship. A buddy of mine had the 50-yard line suite, just a friend of mine. So I was in there with my son, okay, and Honey Badger was in there. So me and him sat there and we watched like the whole national championship game. But that's amazing. Great kid, amazing player. Take a knee, right? Especially if you got a pretty good defense, take a knee. I kid him all the time. I'm like, man, I should have took a knee there. All right. But it's a pretty spectacular play. But the quarterback with unsecure edges, okay, here's my coaching point. With unsecure edges, that thing's got to come out quick. That has got to come out quick. And it didn't come out quick enough, and then he makes a heck of a play. We did get that game, so it's 23-7 at half. We got it to 23-21. About 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, we kicked it to Mo Claiborne. He took it back 105 yards, and that was the ball game. They were pretty good that year. All right, so let's get into a little motion talk. Well, no, we're 3-1, not yet. All right, so we're still 3-1. Again, I told you I like doing it to the inside receiver right there. Big coaching point on the Y receiver right here, as far as getting really flat. Okay, big coaching point right there. Get your butt flat and go. It's all about air. Same thing right here. It's all about air. So this is some pretty good evolution stuff too. So one of the things that we put this in for is tempo. And this didn't come into play until Houston back in 2008. 2002 to 2007 at Texas Tech with Mike Leach, we were air raid and we didn't go fast. And that's kind of hard to believe. I mean, everybody think it's a real no. So Kevin Sumlin, who's a good friend of mine, so he got the head coaching. He was the offense coordinator at Oklahoma when I was at Texas Tech, and he got the Houston job back in 2008. They went to the Fiesta Bowl, and they went up against West Virginia. All right, so Rich Rodriguez was at West Virginia. Pat White was the quarterback, Noel Devine, and all these fast dudes, right? So he's motioning people, and they're handing the ball off, and they're doing all kinds of crazy stuff, right? And so, but we didn't do that at Texas Tech. And so when Kevin approached me about the offense coordinator's job at Houston, I'm like, it's all good. He goes, bring your air raid stuff. He goes, but this whole motion, fastball, tempo, up-tempo stuff is something I want to get into. I'm like, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So we started tempoing, and we would start snapping that thing as fast as we could, mainly because defenses couldn't line up. Now, I think that's completely different now, to the point to where, everybody does it, right? Everybody in this room does it. So it was developed early to be able to get the ball snapped quick to where the defense couldn't line up. So if you got a quarterback that can kind of see it, peek it, hand it, throw it based on leverage, then I think it's a great idea. I just think defenses have caught up to it. So right here you can see the defenses really aren't lined up. I wish the quarterback would have snapped it right now. This was back to where they didn't have that eighth referee and he wasn't holding the ball. So he should snap it. Now, I would hand it, because that to me is air. It looks to me like there's a lot of air right there, and then that guy is pressed up so much. He's pressed up so much to the point to where I just don't think that's great leverage. It's a pretty good job by the inside receiver getting his butt flat and making that block right there. I think the quarterback should have handed this off. But when you throw it to a guy like that, you probably got to throw it to him, right? So I think who the personnel is very, very, very important. Okay, same play, 5 years later. Okay, look at the defense. Okay, so again, see the ref. That didn't happen. This was like the second year of this or whatever it was. This is 2016. That short quarterback that was very, very accurate on screen passes and down the field plays. Okay, so he's looking out there, and the defense is lined up. So to me, if you got this right here, the only time that you do this if the defense lines up is if you're in a 2-minute situation, you got to get the thing snapped. You don't do it to catch the defense off guard, because these guys are pretty good at getting lined up. But I want you to notice the accuracy of the pass right here. It matters. He's quick with his feet. He's quick with his hands. It's an unsecure edge, but because of his technique and how quick that thing come out, it's all good. Really good job by the inside receiver getting flat, sinking your hips, staying square, understanding the guys right behind you, and then getting it upfield. It always helps when you make a guy or two miss, get the first down, makes me a good coach. All right. 2008, okay, so and we didn't motion at Texas Tech very much at all, okay, so we didn't go fast and we didn't motion, okay, we were really good. We'd drop back, we'd throw it 80% of the time. We won a lot of football games. We had, broke every record ever, blah, 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 right? So 2008, we started this motion stuff, right? So I explained to you that Rich Rodriguez was at West Virginia and went to the Fiesta Bowl and beat Oklahoma, and Kevin Sumlin was like, Dana, we got to start doing some of this stuff. So take the job in 2008. I go to the first practice, go out there, and this is actually the guy in motion right here is Tyron Carrier, who's my receiver coach now. He's 5'8". He's Olympic, 200-meter guy. The dude's legit fast and all that. So I'm like, I'm going to bring this guy in motion. We're going to say hike, and we're either going to hand it to the guy or we're going to hand it to the back, right? So it's a genius idea. And so we do that for like a walkthrough in practice number 1. So my good friend Bob Stitt, he's the head coach at Colorado School of the Mines. He comes over to me. He's been part of these air raid one-back clinics forever and ever. He goes, Danny, you've talked about this. I go, what? He goes, don't hand it to him, toss it to him. I go, I forgot all about it. So I go, Case, come here. So Case came over, and I love telling the story. Case came over, Tyron came over. I was like, Bob, here's these two guys. You guys go over to that other field, and you guys figure out how you do all that stuff. I don't know. I don't care. Didn't mention anything to any of the other coaches. Didn't mention anything to Coach Sumlin. So we go into team period, and play one was that come in motion right there. And he goes, hike, right? And he tossed it to Tyron, and he turned right here, and everybody's like looking right down the middle, and Tyron's running up the sideline for like a 70-yard touchdown. Nobody knew it was coming, right? And so that's how we developed it, which we've done different things with it. You know, but just watch some of this stuff right here is really pretty cool. So right here, he just, you know, it's the same thing as zone screen. Do you have perimeter? Do you have leverage on the perimeter? Do you not have leverage on the perimeter? So he's looking out there. I don't doubt this decision right here just because that guy's pretty tight and outside. He's kind of down right there. So they got numbers out there to be able to stop it. So, and there's air in the box, so hand it off. Okay, here's one where he tosses it. See, to me, I think he makes a good decision here. That safety's back. It looks like rotation this way. Safety back, inside leverage, easy block on the perimeter. Watch the DN. All right? So you got to have a fast dude that can like make some things happen. So right there, like it. But Case was like a magician with this thing now. I mean, he makes it look easy. It takes work. I mean, you gotta work it and stuff now, obviously. So here's Gino and Tavon. Same thing at Maryland. These DNs start becoming a problem though. Okay, so you do it too much and you got a wide DN. Those guys are like rushing up field so much and they're kind of blowing things up to the point to where like, we got to do something a little bit different. So we got into this. Okay, so it's a different motion. Okay, so here there's two things. I mean, one, the DN would blow it up, and two, we would run that motion and we'd play action it, and the tackles would come back, and then boom, there'd be a big collision. So we got smart and said, all right, as opposed to just a quick, let's do a bow motion. Okay, so it's the same thing, it's the same timing, but as opposed to the receiver saying, you know, just being flat and like acting like you got the ball and pumping it around the edge right there. Let's go ahead and bow it and get them out of the way, and then tell the quarterback you're not going to toss it to them. So boom, right there, you're either going to hand it or you're going to throw it out there late. Okay, so it's the same thing as zone screen. So this was another adjustment right here that we made a couple years ago that I thought was good. I don't hate this decision right here based on what that nickel player is doing. Okay, that nickel guy right there is seeing it. And again, your quarterback can't put his eyes in a whole bunch of different directions, right? I mean, you got to get him to where you're focusing on something right there. You're looking at the box, seeing if there's air. You're using peripheral vision right here. You're bringing the guy in motion. You got to figure out the snap count. So you say hike when you need to say hike from timing purposes right there, but you got to peripher what's going on. If something's showing right there, then you need to toss the thing out there. But you can't be looking at a whole bunch of different things. So I think he's good where he's at right now. One thing the quarterback needs to do right here, and Will Greer, this is my guy from the last couple of years, Will Greer. He did a really good job with the quickness of the hands. He was a lot like Case, and he could get that thing out there and make good decisions. The one thing about this throw right here is making sure that after you throw it, after you throw it right there, you need to kind of back up a little bit. Everybody understand why? So it's not a backwards pass, and you can kind of fool the refs just a little bit. Okay, so if it is a backwards pass, and you back up about a yard, now it looks like he's a yard back. So I think that's a pretty important coaching point. This is old school 3-by-1 outside receiver. Here, the one thing about this, and I don't, why would you throw it to the X and not the H? Anybody know? More space? It's the same space. H is better player? Better player. It's as easy as that. Let's not complicate things, okay? So, we label our guys, so it's X, it's H, it's Y, it's Z, Okay, so, and we can flip them over, and it's X, it's H, it's Y, it's Z. We can flip them over, it's X, it's Y, it's H, it's Z. Okay, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So you just look out there, and it's either 1, 2, 3, 4. And you just point at them and say, you're the guy that's going to catch the ball. The rest of you guys aren't good enough, and you got to block. So the simple matter is that dude played for the Lions for like 4 years, Patrick Edwards, and that guy is like selling insurance. Okay, so throw it to him. All right, here's another one. 2008. So Shannon Dawson's my offense coordinator. Okay, I coached him a long time ago. He's been in this offense for 20-some years. Was offense coordinator at Stephen F. Austin, offense coordinator at Millsaps, offense coordinator at West Virginia for me. Went to Kentucky, left, and went to be the offense coordinator at Kentucky. Was at Southern Miss, so he's been around for a long time. Back in 2008, he's the offense coordinator at Stephen F. Austin. So we're sitting at the front porch pub. Okay, it's a true story. I've been on the job for like a month. Okay, we're getting ready to get into spring practice. He's like, I got a great idea. I'm like, all right, let's do it. So, and I encourage this, and I'm not joking when I say this. I mean, you got ideas, say them. Okay, I mean, they may be stupid. Okay, but say them. And so we got split backs, right? We've ran split back, lead and outside zone, and we've done all that stuff. And he goes, how about this? He goes, how about if we do like a little old school like option deal? And we either hand it to that guy, he's stationary. On the snap, he's going there. You either hand it to him or flip it to him. Kind of like old school option, right? But don't flip it to him, throw it to him, we get some passing yards. I'm like, well, why not motion him? And then snap it and either hand it or throw it out there, right? That's genius. And so there we go, 2008, started doing it. How many times you guys seen this? Wow. All it is zone screen. It's the same thing. The quarterback's looking for air. Does he got air? Great. He doesn't have air. What's that dude doing? Is he widening out? Well, if he's widening out, hand it. If he's not, throw it. Unbelievable. This was against my man Leach here too. This was 2000, actually this was 2009. We put it in between 2008 and 2009. We did beat Leach this game too. I remind him of that daily. He beat me last year though, so he got even. That looks like a lot of air though, right? So 57 is the read. Okay, but you can see from a quarterback perspective right here, I could see right there, 57's leaving. 57's leaving. See his eyes? I'm good with what the quarterback's doing. Hand it off. Good. First down. All right, right here. So 30, is that 38, 39? He's the key. All right, he kind of widening. Plus there's edge, okay? Toss it out there, man. They ain't got enough numbers. I know this is kind of simple, but I mean, don't get away from just doing the stuff that's worked forever and ever and ever. Now that the back's path is important. You say, well, what's the difference in this motion right here in an arc? There's no difference, okay? But that dude right there, that running back right there, he's got to be flat and he's got to be fast and he's got to get his eyes around, and it's got to be the same every time, okay? So I don't know how else to get that guy out there. That's a really accurate ball. It's a little low, but it's in front. Because if that running back right there, as he's running, if he's got to do this here, it's going to be a dead play. Because they're going to close in on you. So the accuracy with it is incredibly important. And then obviously the technique of blocking and the amount of times that you work on perimeter blocking is something that's got to happen every day. Little 11 personnel. So, never used a tight end at Texas Tech, okay? We never used a tight end at Houston. We had a tight end at Oklahoma State, had a better fullback. So, Oklahoma State stuff with Coach Gundy, who, was very instrumental in my ground and pound mentality that we developed over the course of time at West Virginia. Mike's old school now, and You know, he does an unbelievable job at coaching those guys to be tough and be physical. He had a really good fullback. He had an average tight end. So I go there for a year and do my 10 personnel, throw the thing all over the place, but really developed a pretty good mindset when it comes to the physicality that you need to have to be able to be successful. Developed that at West Virginia. The 10th coach really helped us. It really helped us when it came, especially with these tight ends, because those are the ones that started getting forgotten. I mean, I just like let a young coach them or put them with the receivers or whatever it is. So I had this junior college kid at Lackawanna. He's a West Virginia kid. He was very talented. Okay, he's 6'5". He's 260 pounds. Average his first year, and started becoming a real dude the second year. All right, so we were 11 personnel at West Virginia 2 years ago, and I got one at Houston too, so it was about the same ratio to where we get in this set right here. What are they thinking? This guy's 270 pounds now. I mean, he's coming back on DNs and he's leading on backers. I mean, it's a presence in the box. So what are they focused on? They're focused on the box. They're focused on the over-the-top play action. Okay, so, and you saw this in the Super Bowl a whole bunch, right? So those two tight ends in the Super Bowl, the top two guys, you know, that are in the NFL right now, okay, so they're doing a lot of this stuff with these guys here. Okay, so now you're able to motion that guy out, so now their focus better be perimeter, all right? You got a 270-pound dude out there that can wipe out a corner. They better focus on the perimeter, all right? But it's still about air. It's a different presentation. Look in air. If there's air there, then hand it off. If there's no air, then put it on the perimeter. I'm good with this. Look at the linebackers. You know, and you're going to say, well, you know, why? I mean, they should be thinking pre-snap right here. They should be thinking run, play action over the top. Safeties are back. What are the linebackers doing? Linebackers are playing run. You widen that guy out right there, they're like, I don't know what to do, and they still play run because that's what they've been taught pre-snap. So I'm good with that decision right there. Those guys come forward. It's a bare front, basically. There's no air. Put it out there on the perimeter. Okay, so you're not seeing a lot of air on the side. You're not able to put the ball in play on the perimeter. Okay, so they're doing a better job of taking away the screens, and it's still about the box. I don't care about the perimeter. Okay, but you're not able to get cheap passing yards on the perimeter. It's hard. Okay, but now there's still good plays. But now, as opposed to putting it on the perimeter, let's push it downfield a little bit. Okay, so we started having these conversations. Basically, didn't do this at Texas Tech, didn't do this at Houston. Okay, but we started doing it at Oklahoma State. And, you know, at Oklahoma State, you know, like I told you, a lot of respect for Coach Gundy and the downhill stuff. And we're going to run the ball, and we're going to be physical, and we're going to have a fullback, and we're going to have a tight end, we're going to go downhill right there. We started doing the pistol formation, okay, based on the fact that our running back really liked to get downhill. He really liked to get downhill. So I formation, you know, Mike Gundy, Barry Sanders, Thurman Thomas, what'd they do? What'd Mike do? Mike was a great quarterback. So Mike Gundy was a really good quarterback because he went set hike, and he turned and he handed the ball off to those guys like 99% of the time. So my point is, Brandon Weeden was a good quarterback, but Kendall Hunter was a better running back. And so he went like this right here, and he handed it to dude, and the dude got downhill, and he rushed for like 1,800 yards. So I'm like, all right, cool. So how about this? Let's put all those guys in the backfield. I don't care how many fullbacks you got, how many tight ends you got, put them all back there. Give me my best receiver there and my best receiver there. And I'm going to look at the box. And all those guys are stacked up in there. I'm going to throw it out there to that guy. And so, and I don't have video on this, but this was game one. I remember who we played, Washington State or Troy or somebody at Oklahoma State back in 2010. First time we got to the goal line, it's 1st and 3 on the 3. And so Weeden looks in there. There's 9 people. It's one-on-one out there with the average receiver. It's one-on-one out there with Justin Blackman. He looks to me. I go. So he took it, and he threw it on a run play. I don't have that video, but this is the same thing. This is the same thing, right? And so when the ball's in the air right here, Coach Gundy was going, what the are we doing? I'm like, we're just scoring touchdowns, Coach. You know, he goes, you can't do that. I go, what do you mean? He goes, you can't do that. He goes, I go, well, we just scored, right? And so that was the first time that we started doing it. Obviously, this is 6 years later. And it's Clint Trickett, another coach's kid, throwing to Kevin White, who's a first-round draft pick, gets PI, catches the ball, but if they're stacked in the box, give them a chance outside. Stacked in the box, give them a chance outside. I don't know what the down and distance was here. 2nd and 8, I'm good with that. 2nd and 8 on the 12. Back in the day, Oklahoma State, 2010, I don't know, man. I was like, I don't know. I think we can do it inside the 5. So we started pushing it downfield. Like open field, we started pushing it downfield. So we'd run hitch routes, we'd run slant routes and all that stuff, and it's all kind of like, oh, where's all this coming from, right? But, if the quarterback's looking at it as opposed to just numbers and stuff like that, you got leverage. They can press, but they start bailing, they start blitzing, they start doing that. You got to out. You don't have to hand the ball off if they get you late. Okay, so we started doing more down the field stuff. So boom, right here, this is really a good job. That's a stacked up box now, right? Now I know we're 21 personnel right here. We got blockers, we got everything. I mean, a lot of stuff right there, but that's just a lot of leverage in the flat. Okay, so if we're throwing like a screen, we can't throw a screen to a single receiver. All right, but you can throw a slant or a hitch. So I'm like, that's good. So we start experimenting. There. Another hitch, it's all good. Started pushing it downfield. Started like throwing, okay, so the hitches, I like these hitches way better than like bubble screens. Okay, so again, I've told you how I feel about the bubble screens and stuff, but the hitches are just 3 steps, push it downfield, hitch it up right there. Quarterback makes a decision right here, post-snap, not pre-snap. Okay, makes that decision post-snap right there because that outside dude right there, I don't know what he's doing. He may be dropping out here, he may be coming there. So once you snap the ball right there, you're peripherring that guy, you see him show, and then flip it out there. All good. Same thing right here, just hitch routes. I don't really like a whole lot of the quick screens or bubble screens and stuff like that to the 2 receivers. I think you just got to have really good leverage. And again, throughout the course of time, I just think they take it away. I don't think you get it. So push them that way, and we're good. It gives you an opportunity to be able to put it in play and get some yards. Good there. Same thing here. FSL, quarterback's a magician when it comes to this right here. It's good stuff. Snag, it's another route. It's basically just slants, okay? We used to do I was thinking about this the other day. We used to do like pop routes. The screens are good, but the pop routes, like if you can get in here and you can act like you're blocking right here, and then you slip them right there. Well, the leverage of the outside linebacker, okay, right here, that dude. All right, if you're running the ball effectively, then that dude right there, his alignment's going to be inside. How are you going to try to act like you're blocking him? You can't. So those guys are back right there. So basically just running that based on his pre-snap alignment, to me, is better. So we don't run pop routes anymore. We run snag routes, which are slants. So how's his leverage? He's playing in between. What's he doing? I don't know. I don't think he knows what he's doing. Okay, so right there, the quarterback has an opportunity to be able to peripher it. And if that guy fills, then just throw it over the top of him. It's all about box numbers. And we can snag anybody, okay? This is actually one of the few touchdowns we had last year at Houston. So right there, all right, so, but look, all right, that's the guy we're popping off of. So there's no reason to sell block, it's just a slant. If you got the leverage to throw a slant, throw the slant. Good there. Same thing. It's quarterback would not ever put this into his thought whatsoever. So, if we go, that's why. If we go snag, Okay, those other guys just do this. I don't care what you do, just save your legs, we're good, we're not looking at you. So it's all about what that guy does and throw it to him or hand it to him. So we're starting to push it more downfield though, right? And I think we're good, like the box numbers, there's a lot of blue shirts there, right? A lot of blue shirts. I don't see air. So what you should do, look at 24 and throw off of them. Ain't worried about that route. Receiver needs to run through the ball. Good there. Single receiver, same thing. So it's just the same route to him. And now we're popping off of that guy. And I say pop, but it's snag, it's slant. Good there. Single receiver. Goal line, it ain't the outside backer, it's the safety. That's who we're keying. Keying here. I ain't worried about leverage. I mean, if that guy's really heavy and he's taking away the inside, then you got to have good communication. The receiver needs to say, look, I'm fighting across his face. I can't get there. If you just call a go ball, then I'm going to score easy, right? So, but again, I can't expect, if I call this run play with the slant, I can't expect the quarterback to read that guy and read the leverage of the corner as well. We got to have some common sense, and we got to talk about it on the sidelines. We got to say, how's he playing you? And how's he playing? The quarterback's got to peek it, has the ability to be able to check it. 2011, okay, 2011. I'd say that's pretty good leverage outside, right? I mean, pretty good leverage out there. They're squeezing the box. This is tempo. Squeezing the box, toss it out there to the guy. And I'm more comfortable pushing it down the field on slants and low posts and fades due to the fact that the tight end has a secure edge. Okay, so that 10 personnel, I'd never do this. Okay, but 11 personnel, when you got a secure edge, you got a chance to be able to hit some big plays. Why are we slanting him and not him? It's just the person, okay? And you can say, because I don't run bubble screens. I hadn't thrown a bubble screen in 20 years. So, but he runs a bubble screen because they can't help themselves. They're going to cover it, okay? So they're going to cover it. They're not going to give you that, okay? So I like that guy in a slant route better than I like that guy in a slant route. So throw it to the guy that can make a play. Same thing as Randy's and Larry's. Back in this 21 personnel stuff right here, it's 2nd and 4, okay? So I don't remember what the previous play was, okay? If it was 1st and 10 on the 10 and we got 6 yards in the run game right there, then you probably ought to hand the thing off again. If it was 1st and 5 on the 5 and we handed it off and it got stuffed, or 1st and 4 on the 4 and it got stuffed, well, let's think about tossing the thing out there. This is 2016. And again, at this point, we're ground and pound. So we're handing the ball off a lot. I got 4 running backs I think are really good players. With average quarterback, smart, understands numbers, and had a first rounder right here. Okay? Had a first rounder right here. So you hand it and you hand it and you hand it, and all those guys start getting up in there. Let's start testing it. I don't think we get, now here, I mean, if you look at the O-line, that ball snapped on the 37-yard line, right? So 37, you go, ball's in the air. That O-line's 3 yards downfield. It's not getting called. Just because there's a lot of resistance. And if we ever get to a point to where he's making that decision right there based on numbers, and we don't have numbers to run the ball, and you don't hand it, and we get that flag, I'm probably going to take him out of the game and make him do up downs on the sidelines. Let me just hand it off, okay? Until you know there's no air, hand it off. But it's a one-on-one isolation right here. He thinks he's got help from that safety. He don't have help based on the play action, based on the amount of times that we've handed the ball off. Does a great job of stacking this right here. Great job of stacking it. Great job of tracking it. All good. This is 2015 again. Okay, Baylor was number 3. They were pretty good. I'd say they're taking away the run, right? I mean, those safeties are down. They're thinking run, but they can't give the corners help. And because there's no air in the box, there's resistance, throw it. Good. All right. Everybody good on RPOs? Okay, last thing I want to talk about, I got about 15 minutes on this, is PRO, okay? So got some really good stories on this, okay? So it's not a run-pass option, it's a pass-run option. It's draw play, okay? So we're talking about draws now. And this went back to, I actually got reminded of this yesterday. I watched this with my offensive staff, and my receiver coach, Carrier, goes, he's like, you remember when, I was talking about this, and so this was another Oklahoma State, 2010, did this, and that's where we introduced it, and I thought I lost my mind when I brought this up, and it goes back to don't be scared to ask if let's think about this and talk about this. And I brought this whole stick draw thing up, and they thought I lost my mind. And he goes, and Carrier goes, Coach, we actually did that, 2 years prior to that. So this was the universal signal for stick. Okay, we've been doing this for, at least 20 years. Okay, so that's stick. And so we're playing Todd Graham. He was at Tulsa. I'm at West Virginia. I'm at Houston in 2008. They're pretty good. All right, they're 7-0. They just beat Arkansas. But Todd Graham loves stealing signals. Okay, and so I tricked him. Okay, and this is the first time we did it. So I'd call a draw play, but I'd look out there and I'd go like this to that guy. I go like this to that guy, and the 2 outside linebackers are going, stick, stick. And so on the snap, they're running out there, right? And there's nobody left in here, and we handed the ball off, 100% handoff, run play, 100%. Well, 2 years later, I was like, well, maybe why not do that and throw it if he's open, right? And they looked at me going, you can't do that. I go, what do you mean you can't do that? Just you got stick routes, and we look at it, throw the stick or hand the ball off. And they're like, you've lost your mind, right? I'm like, all right. So, and I don't have video of this against Oklahoma State, against Baylor. So we put this in against Baylor. You can actually YouTube this, okay? But we put it in, I think we ran it like 15 times in this game. We beat Baylor. It's always fun to beat Baylor too, but beat them, I think it was 70-10, 70-14, something like that. We literally ran this play like 15 times. We were like 8 for 8 for like 100 yards, and we handed it off for another 100 yards, and it was beautiful. So it's pretty simple, okay? You're either going to take a drop and throw a stick route. We've done different things with these guys, but again, I don't like putting his eyes in more than one place. It's just hard. So we've ran go balls, we've ran screens. It's just about that. Is that backer pushing or is he not? If he's pushing, hand it. So right there, 4 down front, we're ignoring him. It's these 4 and him. Sell it, sell it, sell it, and go. We've done different things with if it's an odd front, the guards are just setting and they're going, but you got to be able to pass things off. There's so much line movements and stuff that you got to be able to figure it out and all that good stuff. So we've wrapped it on a 4 down front. We blocked down, gave ground, the guards around. I don't think the wrap is necessary because it's a pass protection situation. I just don't think it's necessary. So I think we're better off if big boy there, 67 right guard, just sets back and understands that the nose is heavy on the center and goes straight. Same thing here. Boom. There's grass. Okay, now he may have been spooked by this guy. Okay, and again, in a 3 down front, you're gonna account for the 3 and the 2. Okay, away from where the stick is. Go with that. Start using that tight end some. So that tight 88's in the game. Okay, 88's in the game. So what are they thinking? They're thinking run. They're thinking run. They're thinking run. He turns out, you know, I don't really like him turning out, but if they're tight ends and their splits are in tight, that's an easier throw because you need stretch, okay? So with the big guy, I mean, we'd do different things, but his alignment was always gonna be about 3 yards from the tackle. So I like him turning out right there based on the fact that his alignment is in and we need that guy to be stretched. We need him to be stretched. Same thing with his alignment right there. I mean, just doing different things. We squeezed and stacked the guys out wide to try to get more stretch, puts that guy in a bind. Got to get him out wider. You know, he's in tight, so he's stretching outside. You know, big coaching point right here from both the quarterback, I think the quarterback's just a little quick on this right here. So from a quarterback's perspective, I always tell him, just always see the end of the route. See the end of the route. All right, it's not pre-snap, it's post-snap. You throw it based on the end of the route, open or not. Open or not. If he's open, always take it. Always take it, always take it, because it's going to make the run play better if you always take the stick. If you always take the stick, then it's going to make it better. So right here, I think he's a hair quick. And then the other thing, so watch 45. I mean, he wants to be all over that tight end, right? He wants to go there. If that quarterback hangs in there just a second longer, half a second longer, 45 is going to that stick. He going there. And now he's not in the play. So right there, 88 can't block that dude based on the timing of the quarterback. If he sees the end of the route, which I don't think he sees the end of the route, just hang on, he ain't getting sacked, okay? So you'll be all right. You'll be all right. Now 45's not in it, and that's 100% free safety only. It's 100% free safety only. 45 is able to get in there, and 88's not able to make that block based on the fact that the quarterback's a little bit too quick.
Is your running back reading that kid too?
No, he's not. He's not. He's always expecting the ball. Always expecting the ball. I try to get those guys to make it look like pass protection as much as you can, right? So, you know, there's times where we max protect the running back, and he's just kind of hanging out right there. I always try, if he's hanging out there like and he's reading his guy and I'm like max it up no matter what, don't release, then I want him to make it look like draw, okay? So if it's draw, I want him to make it look like pass protection, right? So just get your eyes everywhere like there, be tall, but you got to kind of disguise it just a little bit. So we 82, 83 it, okay? If it's 82, then your read key's there. If it's 83, your read key's there. All right, so we tell the old line where it's at based on even, based on odd, all right, based on the number. I love what the quarterback's doing here. And from a ball security standpoint, there's been years where I'm like, no matter what, you always got two hands on the ball. No matter what, you always got two hands on the ball. Well, I mean, what's that mean? That means ball's out, okay? So huge coaching point right there on that draw. Take the left hand off the ball because they read that stuff. Easy 4-1 box. Should hand it all the time. I don't know where this running back thinks he's going. He ain't right. He ain't gonna make him. Hey, just go that way, okay? Get a first down. Now, you got to have an answer for if you got this play right here and you got 6 in the box, you got a problem, obviously, right? There's 5 linemen. There's got to be 5. So if you see single high, so we stick route that guy too. Okay, we stick them weak, we stick them strong. I don't care what they do. And if it's 2x2, it's the same thing. I'm going to stick the inside receivers. So there's stick routes on both sides. If you got rotation, then take the flat. If you got leverage, take the flat. If you don't, you got to check out, no matter what. I mean, if it's a 4-2 heavy, single high, tight corners, you got to check out of it. Okay, so just have some sense with what they're doing. So the quarterback's right now saying, there's 6 of them, can't block them. Can I throw it or can I not? If I can throw it, then hike and throw it. Other than that, you got to check. So that the single receiver bailed him out on this based on safety rotation, which you can see this. That's all good. But if that corner's tight and his leverage is down, if you hike the ball, you're going to get hit. And if you turn and hand it to your buddy and he gets blown up right there, he's going to hit you. Okay, so be smart with it. 6 in the box with single high, we got a problem. All right, there's issues right here, right? So it's an 82 call, sticks to the right. Okay, we got issues. You got leverage or not? He's like, yep, I'm going to throw it to that dude. I'm good. Okay, so this is the last deal. I'm actually giving you something right here that's like, this is cutting edge stuff right here. I'm joking, okay? So there's nothing we do that's cutting edge. All right, so draw play. All right, so how it's kind of like the RPO as far as how much can we push the envelope on it, right? And so we've talked about that, and you're pushing it downfield. You're like slants and go balls and post routes and all that stuff, and then you get called, and it's whatever. So you push the envelope on it. So on draw, I started pushing the envelope on draw. Okay, so it's draw, but it's slower. Okay, so the stick deal is, all right, we got throw it, hand it, we're good. It's a safe run play. Okay, this one right here, it's a twice as slow draw play. So we're hanging in there. We're hanging in there. Okay, so we call this, it's like shallow draw. Okay, so the O-line understands, I'm going to get back and I'm going to pass set. I'm going to get back and I'm going to pass set. When I see that receiver cross my face, I'm going. Okay, so this was pretty good stuff. Now, anytime they blitz draw, you better have answers. Okay, you better have answers. Like right here, this is as good of a job as we did up front all year. So if they're blitzing and the guy you're supposed to block comes, then just pass set. Just pass set. You don't have a guy to work up to, then just pass set. So, we don't really want to be caught in this. But that's a lot of grass, right? That's a lot of grass. And I prefer them to blitz this. All right, so it's man coverage. They blitz, it's typically man, and we're generally in a pretty good spot. Now, how he doesn't score right here. I do think this quarterback's going to be pretty good. Okay, he's a young kid. He's 6'3", he's 210, he's smart. He's got good pocket presence. He actually runs pretty good. That's embarrassing. Okay, so we're doing the same thing up front. So it's wherever the shallow is going, it's the same thing as the stick, right? So if the shallow is going here, we're blocking here. If the shallow is coming here, we're blocking here. Okay, so it's usually about numbers, and we average like 15 yards a play on this thing, and we called it, I think, 20 times. We probably should have called it more. Now, we got work to do at the O-line. Those are bad angles. Those are bad angles. Here's the thing with the O-line. It's the same thing. Your targets are the same, but they're wider. Slower and wider. Slower and wider. So that shallow goes that way. You're slower. You're back here. You see them. You go, but you're wider. Okay, that thing ain't hitting here. It's hitting here. So their angles right here based on the fact that he's a freshman and he sucks, and he's a freshman and he sucks. Inexperience will get better at it, but look at the scheme on it, though. I think the scheme on it's pretty smart. Now, that shallow guy's an option. Okay, it's the old pick play. Okay, when we've run the pick play for a long time. It's just adding the run element to a pick play. It used to be all or nothing on the pick. Okay, so he's working at the outside linebacker. He's free releasing outside linebacker. And so we're reading this. We're reading the middle linebacker. If the middle linebacker takes the shallow pick guy, all right, then it's a dead play. Quarterback's out of luck. Well, we got smart over the course of time. We said, like, well, it's a pass run option. So sit back. What's that Mike doing? That Mike's taking that shallow. Run. The Mike's not. Throw. Okay, so it's 4 plus 1. It's 4 plus 1, there's your read. All right, the 1 comes, so all 5 are in. All 5 are staying in. What's the mic do? All over the pick. What's the quarterback do? Run. I don't really like the stick draw with the quarterback. I mean, we did it a little bit and we'd motion the guy out, empty. Motion him out there, throw it, not him throw it and run. This right here is a 100% quarterback run, obviously. I mean, geez.
If they blitz the mic, you throw a shot?
Yes, have to. Have to. All right, so it's 3 and 2. It's 3 and 2, there's your read. They do some of this stuff over here, then you got some problems. Really smart by the tight end, okay? So the main blocker, whether it's the tight end, where it's the running back, no matter what it is, his job is to block the outside linebacker. What if the outside linebacker blitzes? Do you become a pass protector? Okay, so that part of it's out. It's about this read key right here. All right, he's blitzing, throw it to him. All right, you have an out, throw it to him. This receiver right here is really good. I mean, Marquez Stevenson, he's back for his senior year. He's very fast and very talented and gives me headaches because he does stuff like that. Jeez. Good read by the quarterback, okay? And the pick guy is important, like who that guy is. He's got to be fearless. He's got to be able to catch and get upfield, all that good stuff, but wow. All good? Any questions on that? All right, well, I've enjoyed it. Hope you guys got something out of that. I'm gonna go win money.